Want some candy?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I hear you looking for candy, man, bitch.
Give me some sugar, baby. Like scary movies.
Uh-huh. Want some candy?
Very chill. No actors running around while you're doing it.
Tea time.
Not Jekyll and Hyde level. Crazy.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
What up, you gruesome ghosts and groovy ghouls? Welcome back to another episode of Monster Candy Podcast with myself, Screaming E from the Memphis Murder Men, Oubliette Sparks from Tsunami Bomb, and Gucci T, Mike Terry from the Jukebox Romantics.
Yo.
Oh, and we've got a treat for you tonight. We're going to talk about
how I almost watched the wrong movie.
Yeah, Jim Henson and Frank Oz's 1982 fantastic fantasy movie, The Dark Crystal. But before we even touch any of that, we're going to talk about some horror news. Handy J's, brought to you by Time Bomb Toys, located at 300 Capel Road, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Check them out
in
online.
The mall.
Check them out online or in person and get free Handy J's on.
It is in the mall, right?
No, it's its own little.
Oh fuck! In a the strip mall next to the Handy J place.
No, it's literally just a building, and it's them, and then the Tuggy place.
In a building, and the building next door is a Handy place.
They got a sweet little like ice cream stand burger thing, like the roadside ice cream places.
Do they have tea-berry ice cream?
Maybe. I've never went there. It just looks cool. I'm like, that looks like it'd be delicious.
I seek out tea-berry ice cream.
Maybe. I should go check one time. I always look at it. I just look at it for a second. I'm like, nod my head.
Acknowledge it.
Yeah, and then I walk in.
That's crazy too, because when you're in Pittsburgh, you're doing like the food tour stuff, and you're not hitting the ice cream place next to the Handy place.
No,
next to the horror movie place.
No, because
that are in their own buildings.
They
and not in the mall.
And Bob is on the opposite side of where I'm at.
Oh, it's like a bad turn.
Yeah, so it's like it's 25 minutes from my parents, but then like 45 to almost an hour from like where I stay at my brother's.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the opposite side of the river. They're on the north end, and we're like kind of in the middle towards south. So it's a whole thing. It's like a 4-hour trip just to hang out for 2 hours. So I'm like, no, not eat there. But maybe I should.
Yeah.
Maybe I should.
At Hand
Next
Creams.
Time. Yes.
Should be called Hand Creams.
I don't even know what the fuck it's called. But anyway, horror news, guys.
I got some news.
Ooh. Is it about tea or allergies?
No. Oh. Neither. So this news dropped a few days ago. It got me kind of excited. Warner Brothers actually confirms that there is a new Gremlins movie, and
I saw this.
A Beetlejuice sequel, or I guess finishing off the trilogy, and
Goonies too,
and Goonies as well, which I think is funny because they must know that everybody has the least faith in the Goonies, because in all the headlines and articles about the Gremlins 3 and Beetlejuice 3 and Goonies 2, the Goonies is so buried because everybody knows it's either not gonna happen, or it's gonna be terrible. And so whatever. But beyond looking at the bad, Christopher Columbus, or Chris Columbus, as his friends call him, will be doing the Gremlins movie, which is super cool. He's also doing the Goonies movie.
Right.
Sure. But I trust him.
Shit on one, shit on all.
Yeah, I trust him.
Well, they're bringing back the same writer that wrote the original script.
But my big problem with the Gremlins, and the Goonies is whatever. If they can do it with Cobra Kai in the beginning of it, it wasn't that terrible. They could do it with some of these properties. I'm going with a lower bar, but with Gremlins, they could nail it if they really nail the practical effects, and it all lives and dies on that. If it looks good, which I'll put a pin in this to remember this piece of news during our review tonight. But if it looks good now, 40 years later, then it could be successful. And when it comes to Beetlejuice, I didn't love Beetlejuice, but I didn't hate it. I had a fine time. That was fine. Yeah. And so I'm down for another fine time. So it's good. It's good news. I don't know when they're coming out. They're working on them. But at least that, they're coming.
The trap with those is it's like when they try to recreate that lightning in a bottle and recreate that nostalgia. Like I hope because they talk about it kind of being darker. I hope they go the dark route, which because I think would be the smart way to go.
They said they were going to do it. They want to go towards like the way the first one was.
Gremlins. Yeah. Like darker how the original script was for Gremlins.
Oh, they didn't say that. They said they wanted to make it like the first movie and just like kind of twisted.
But because, man, like I wasn't a huge fan of the second one. Like it was fine. It was whatever. But I mean, it was fucking ridiculous.
For its own thing, right? Like I don't like that as a second movie to Gremlins, but as its own thing, it was just so fucking weird.
So, if that was a movie and it didn't, and Gremlins 1 hadn't come out beforehand, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But if they do something like Halloween, the 2018 one, where it just skips from the first one to the second one, and they kind of, I hope it works. But yeah,
Gremlins 2 has the best breaking of the fourth wall in any movie. With Hulk Hogan at the movie theater. I mean, hey, put the film back on. People paid hard good money to eat popcorn.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, dude, that's funny. Speaking of Gremlins and Joe Dante and all of that, leads into my news, which is Joe Dante says no Little Shop of Horrors. No new Little Shop of Horrors.
I saw it got scrapped.
Oh. Yeah, which is a bummer. So he says, what did he say? At the moment, like so many things in town, nothing's happening. And hope it'll change, but who knows? Which is a bummer because that was, I'm assuming, unless he had something else in the works, that was, when we talked about it on here, Roger Corman's going to be his like last project he works on, was supposed to be at least him producing it. But doesn't look like that's going to happen at the moment, at least. And it's, I mean, do we need another one? It would have been awesome for Roger Corman to be a part of it, but since he has passed on, it's like, do we really need a third or a second remake of the original?
Right.
So, no.
It does well enough in theaters still, so it's like it'll live on.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really top the 80s one.
No.
The musical. You can't top the musical.
Yeah.
And the original is very, very Roger Corman-y.
I've never seen the original.
Oh, really?
I've only seen the musical one.
It's worth seeing.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's definitely been like in the background somewhere, but I've never watched it or sat down.
I mean, have you ever seen A Bucket of Blood? The original? No. Yeah. That was another Corman one, but it's similar, has a similar vibe to it, but it's entertaining. Cool. And you get to see a young Jack Nicholson as the dentist.
Yeah.
He's not the dentist, but he's the patient.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, that was my news.
All right. So
bring it in, Oobs.
I think this just dropped a couple hours ago.
Ooh, fresh.
Just like my balls.
Hot off the presses. Hot off the presses.
Hot off the press.
Hot nuts.
Zach Kreger, who did Barbarian, he has
titties.
Another movie coming out called Weapons. Yes, and they are so. I am so. I don't know how to feel right now inside. They're doing some like weird like website and social media stuff that just dropped to like pump up this movie, which excites me, but it's feeling real long legsy too.
I was gonna say we got burned once in the last year.
And so I'm feeling like, I'm feeling weird about it. So basically he's trying to shock people, but I think that he may have showed a clip at some fucking thing, whatever. Anyways, point being, there's a social media post, I think
he
today.
did a CinemaCon.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it's like where they show everybody in the theater industry, like stuff.
Yeah. So the studio today posted just the glowing red numbers, 2:17, like the time.
Right.
And it just said, and they never came back. So now if you go to maybrookmissing.com, it is a news site that basically has a story about 17 local children all walking out of their houses simultaneously at 2:17 a.m. It's talking about the authorities are baffled, but they're basically trying to make it look like, whatever, this is really happening.
How old are the kids?
Doesn't say.
Huh. Okay.
They just left with no response. So after the little newspaper article below it is a picture of a girl looking down at a basement, and there's a link to a story about an underground prison discovered in a rental home.
Mm-hmm.
So they're tying in Barbarian, like it's in the same universe.
I like that.
I do like that too. If they actually do anything with that, and they're not just doing this cheap thing like, hey, I made this movie too, so I'm going to link this in because we had no other content to put on this website right now.
I don't mind that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If there's monsters in it, I'm
all about the lore. I'm all about the lore.
I hope it doesn't look like the one
that's my favorite word.
Barbarian. Yeah. You do need the lore.
Yeah. So Called Weapons hits theater August 8th. Following up on our last horror news, it's now actually been announced that they are developing a Star Wars horror series.
Wow.
So I'm curious. I mean, the monsters in the Star Wars world are so cool. Like, you could totally do some rad shit if you get someone smart behind this. So I'm excited for it. Like the new series have been hit or miss, but the ones that have been good have been, in my opinion, really fucking good and kind of true to the stories and the lore. So
yeah,
I don't know who's attached to it though.
This happens with anything though, right? Like, so like Star Wars is a great example. Like, having a Star Wars horror show, it could be awesome. And some of the shows have been hit or miss, but it's because we've gotten so spoiled with Star Wars stuff, right? Like, you have to wait forever for Star Wars movies. And now there's like a new series every week that's like, this one's all right. This one's pretty good. It's like too much good stuff. So, or that like it's easy to just dismiss stuff. Like, is the bad stuff even that bad? If we only got the quote unquote bad Star Wars series that come out and we weren't getting all these other things, you'd be like, Star Wars, I like that. Just
put Rachel Zegler in it. It'll be fine.
Oh man, you're obsessed. She's like your Mia Goth alternate universe.
I know, yeah. She might be.
Dude, that's part of what's in all my reels is just reels just dragging her. I can't help it. I find them hilarious.
They're pretty funny, but
some of them
I just would rather not look at her face.
Yeah, it's getting annoying
at all.
To be honest, Disney fucking sandbagged her. They were like, fuck, this thing isn't going to go well. Let's just push it all on her and blame her for everything.
Why not?
Because,
I mean,
I'm not saying she didn't bring some of it on herself, but she didn't make the movie. The movie is still the movie.
Right.
And people are like, some people are like, the movie's fine. And then some people are like,
this
isn't.
But I've heard it's a good live action. I mean, I've heard it's one of the better live actions. Most people I've heard are complaining about. Yeah, I know. Most people I hear complain about her, not like the dwarfs being CGI or anything like that.
Yeah,
I think we have to watch this movie for the podcast.
We
talk about it way too much. We talk about it every episode for the last like 4 months.
I mean, I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
We could do it like in the upside down episode.
Yeah,
it's not Monster Candy. It'll be like Disney Candy podcast.
Totally.
For
I
one
thought-
episode only. Ooh,
Right.
this might be my choice. It's my turn to pick soon, so this might be it.
God.
Oops, do you have any more news? 'Cause I had a tiny bit of news. It's just like general movie news.
No, the only other thing was that we watched a trailer, or I watched a trailer. There's a new culty type movie coming out with
Yes.
Natasha Henstridge from
Ooh.
Species,
Mhm.
who you haven't seen her around for a while. It looks interesting. It's kind of about a place you go when you want to kill yourself, but it's kind of culty, looks creepy, but
Yeah.
and it
What's
looks
it
like
called?
we're also going to get to see it, House of Abraham.
Ooh, exclusive.
And we're so fancy, we're going to get to watch it before it comes out.
We are.
That's right, bitches. We finally made it. We fucking made it.
That's it. I'm quitting my job.
Yeah.
Day job.
Ah,
So
that'll be
it's,
cool.
It's really going to be unfortunate if we, get
Hate
to
it.
see it early
I can
and
guarantee E will love it.
possibly have someone who's involved with it on the podcast with us, and then end up doing the movie and shitting on it. But the thing is we're fair. We never just
Yeah,
never
it's not
go
just
out of our way
shitting on it
just
just to shit on it.
mean.
No, no,
There's enough of those
That's mean.
podcasts out there
no.
that
Oh,
want to
yeah,
just
totally.
We
be
only shit on
obnoxious.
movies we haven't seen, like
Yeah.
Snow White.
Yeah.
But I have to say, like, this looks interesting. It's got some good actors in it. And I love a good creepy white person cult film. It's
Oh,
like,
I'm all
Well,
about it.
we were just
The
talking about
best.
that. Was it on the last one? We're talking about
Yeah.
the fucking, not the DeFeo family, but the other family.
Say
The
say no
Amityville
more
Horror.
about the Abraham, because I've started reading the synopsis and it just too much. So I want to be more surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I watched that little short clip we got sent, like the teaser or whatever, or first trailer, and that's all I'm gonna
I started reading. I was like, oh, this is too much.
What?
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I didn't even read that whole Blade
Yeah, I
Disgusting I
didn't.
sent you guys. I just like
Don't read it. Yeah.
because I just watched. Most of those articles I read like the first paragraph, and I'm like, okay, I got what I need. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
But yeah.
So I got some news, and it's just general news about like what's happening in movie world right now, and I think it's super cool. I feel partially bad, but also I get it. Have you guys been getting in any of your algorithms like people losing their mind during the Minecraft movie? Have you seen
No.
this?
No.
In the theaters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Minecraft movie is like destroying right now. It already beat Super Mario Brothers as like the biggest opening weekend for a video game movie. And it's just made like another $80 million this week. But right now, there's a trend going around in the theater where people are like shouting out lines when people get on screen. And then there's this another scene towards the end of the movie where people are just losing their minds. Everybody's throwing popcorn in the air, screaming, chanting, losing it. And it looks insane. Like the first one I saw was super staged looking, but it's just part of the phenomenon. It's not even staged. There's thing that they're doing. It has to do with like some enemy in the video game that rides a chicken. Somebody brought a fucking chicken to the movie theater. Now I think that's like going too extreme. Yeah, it's going too extreme because the poor chicken. But whatever, I'm not PETA. But what I'm saying is, there were people like bitching about this.
Oh,
and
dude.
All I can think about was number one, people are going to the movie theater, so it's a win, right? And these are young people. These are young movie people, so they will have this memory as they get older. You know, like, oh, we had such a good time at the movies when we saw a fucking Minecraft movie. And like, just because older people don't get it, that's on older people who don't get it. Two, how are anybody getting mad about this? It's just like Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Exactly. Dude, that's the first comparison everybody says. That's like, hey, have you ever gone to like a midnight showing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
But Minecraft?
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
for
it's
kids,
like
I guess.
It's a huge game. It's a huge game, especially for that generation of like 12, 13-year-olds. Like they were like 5 when they were playing it. So I think, it just makes sense. But it was funny though, because I was saying how when I was first hearing about it, I was like, oh, that's pretty fucked up. Because my buddy was like, those poor theater attendants have to clean up all that shit. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty fucked. I was like, yeah, but it's kind of like Rocky Horror Picture Show. And literally today, I just see an article in Rolling Stones how the Minecraft movie became Rocky Horror Picture for TikTok kids.
Oh, that's
like,
crazy.
I was like, wow. So I guess everybody's thinking the same thing. And then, I did read the article, and at the end of the article, it was like, and that all the movie studios are going to try to recreate this, and they're all going to be terrible bombs and terrible movies,
Mhm.
And then
and
you'll
it's
go
not
to
going
the
to,
movie theater and everyone will just throw popcorn everywhere for whatever reason and
yeah.
ruin the yeah.
And it's cool, because like the article even explained like what the inside jokes are of this, and it was,
Mhm.
comparing it to, uh, comparing it to like The Room,
Right.
Right.
and and other like just like culty kind of things that like it will be pretty funny to see like in 10 years from now if these 13-year-olds are like at 23-year-olds in college like going to like, hey, we're gonna go to like the midnight of the Minecraft movie. Like that would be kind of funny. Like I'd be all right with that.
I
It's
mean,
not
that'd
for
be cool.
me.
Like,
Yeah.
right.
Sure,
I mean,
they need something too.
I get it. I get
These are indoor kids.
right.
Like these are
It's
indoor kids. They are they are just playing Minecraft. They went and did something like you know like communal together. I saw a
totally
video.
in
There's a
in
bunch
real
of
life, in
there's a
person.
bunch of IRL people are like they're going on stage at the movie theater, standing on the stages and being like, "We're about to witness an event that we've never seen before." I was like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is going on? This can't be real."
I mean,
And,
yeah, I think it's fine.
and
On
I
one
don't
hand,
give a fuck if it became a TikTok trend. People are
right,
still doing it.
right. I
Like,
mean,
so
it's
Right.
on one hand, sure, it's their thing, let them do it. It's just like every other generation's thing that they did. But on the other hand, the way things have gotten like exacerbated and just ratcheted up to like 15,
I mean, bringing the chicken is a lot.
yeah, it's different.
That's a lot.
Like the level, the intensity level of where things are now, because it's like ever since, the 20s, the 30s, 40s and up, you fucking crank it up a notch here and there. Now we're at the point where it's okay, what are you going to do to top that? Oh, we're going to fucking set someone on fire in real
Oh
life.
yeah,
Like
totally, totally.
it's
I mean, the
that. So,
cops are coming to all these things.
right.
Like
I
they
get it.
pause the movie now, like every time.
Like movie theaters have never been fucking clean.
No.
Like it's always been a mess, but some of the videos I've seen, it's like ridiculous.
Oh no,
It's like
it's
double
like
dare level fucking messy. You're like,
I would
okay,
say, yeah. I would say
like that's
even
fucking
more
crazy.
so.
Right,
It
right.
was crazy.
So I
But you
mean,
know what?
I get it, but it's fucking popcorn. Like
I
whatever.
just want the movie theaters to stay open. So
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
No, same. Yeah. If it
I'm
brings
fine with
people to theaters, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have to go see it,
it's fine.
but whatever.
As long as they're not actually fucking up the theater, which I
No,
haven't
yeah.
heard any of that. I heard it's just been
No.
throwing food and shit. So
Yeah.
who cares? Like
Yeah. Food
you can
fights, whatever.
you can fucking sweep up the popcorn or the boxes.
It's going to be for 1 month out of the year. So
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
and probably
be-
not every day. It's probably
It'll be like a
the
holiday.
weekends.
Everyone's like, oh, Christmas time, and everyone will be like, oh, it's Minecraft season.
It would be kind of funny if, like, on the weekends, because it's probably busier on the weekends. Like, they're like, we're just not going to clean this showing. Just like, we'll just wait till the day's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I had a boss who used to run
Yeah.
Radio City, and they used to during the Christmas show they would do 5 Christmas shows a day during like Christmas season,
Oh.
and that's like 5 in and outs, and they would do like
Right.
tons of popcorn during the
no.
Christmas show. So they would just start pushing the popcorn under the chairs, and then they
Oh, yeah.
and then they start just doing like the leaf blowers. But before all that, it used to just go right underneath the chairs. So by the last showing, you'd just be like stepping on like popcorn from like 8 hours ago.
My
So-
seat won't go down because
You
it's just
know?
a pile of popcorn underneath it.
So that's my news. I just thought that was fun. Just
That
news
is
for
fun and funny.
some movie news.
Yeah. Anyone got anything else?
Nope.
All right. That's been Ooh,
News today.
the Dark Crystal. I have
I almost watched Labyrinth.
which I mean would not have
Till my
been
wife- till my
like a
wife-
crazy mistake.
Exactly. She's the one who was like, I was like, oh, I got a great idea, like for like Halloween next year. Like we can, dress the baby up as the baby, and you could be the girl from Labyrinth, and like I could be David Bowie, or Lyra could be David Bowie. Like it'd be great. I was like, yeah, we're doing the Dark Crystal tomorrow. She's like, are you talking about Labyrinth? I'm like, oh fuck, we're doing the Dark Crystal. I almost put on the wrong movie. Like literally, I was about to put it on.
Yeah. Oh, all right. On another planet in the distant past, a Gelfling embarks on a quest to find the missing shard of magical crystal and to restore order to his world. First of all, every time they said shard, I just kept on thinking shart, shart, shart. I shart my pants the entire movie. But, that's what happens when you're a fucking man child. Anyway.
Oh no, the one that gets me is when they're like dreamscaping each other or whatever, where they're both
Right.
having dreams, and he's like, "And I'm taking a bath." And I was like, "This is so fucked up."
It is, dude. I haven't watched this movie since I was probably, I don't know, 10, maybe.
Oh,
Like it's been a long ass time.
so
And
did you watch the prequel series?
no, no. I
I-
watched
We'll
this
get to it.
movie and then that's it. That's
I
it.
like
to
it
it.
better than the movie.
It's much
Okay.
better.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so good.
But there's, this is the argument that can always be made. TV shows have more time
Oh
than
yeah.
movies, so you can really
course.
flesh things out. But we'll get to the prequel. Let's go through this because
Right.
I'm with you, Oobs.
Well, and the Dark Crystal, I mean, it had 20 minutes cut out of it. So, like, what a lot of people don't know about this movie is the Skeksis and the Mystics actually had their own language that they wrote for them, just like Lord of the Rings shit.
Mhm.
And when they did the test screening, it screened so fucking bad that Jim Henson was like, nope. And he cut like 20 to 30 minutes out, and he went to the people who created this like fake language for them and is like, we need to look at the subtitles, we need to translate this completely back, but we also need to alter it to make it look like their mouths are moving, saying English words. So they
Right.
went back and fucking redid the entire script to like have to adapt it. And if you watch, I mean, it looks like they're saying those words. There's like a couple times where you can tell like, oh, this was definitely something that they couldn't match with the syllables, but that must have taken so much.
Oh my
Well,
god.
I mean, not so much effort, but also just like you have to be exhausted after having this finished product and being like, fuck yeah. And then it testing so bad and the boss coming back like, nope, back, like, we got to change this. It's not
Well, yeah.
gonna work.
I mean, this whole movie, like one of the things I liked about it was just how much effort went in to making this. I mean, this is 99.9% all puppets, except for some like long shots where they show them running and it's obviously a person. But aside from that, like, and if
Did you know Deep Roy is one of them?
no, I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
He always shows up, man. Always shows
Always.
up.
But yeah, I mean, if anyone doesn't know who Frank Oz and Jim Henson are, Sesame Street, The Muppets,
Or Deep Roy.
yeah, or Leroy voices and Star Wars, like all kinds of shit. The 80s, like that was them. Like they did their stuff, through the 70s and
Yeah.
some 60s and stuff like that. But for us 80s kids, I mean, that was it. And
yeah.
I mean, it's a great set. They really knocked it out of the park. I liked just the skill of the film to do all of that. It was impressive. I thought it was a great story. It's a good fantasy story. The effects, it's fun.
It's fucking scary, dude. It's even
terrifying.
scary now.
The
I was scared of-
Gelflings are fucking scary. And,
They are
and honestly,
scary.
the worst part of the film.
The Gelflings
Yeah.
are scary, but the Skeksis in the beginning, like even just watching it, I was just
Trial
like,
by
I was like,
stone.
I was like, I think I'm just like maybe just it's probably PTSD from being a kid and seeing it. Because like as an
Yeah.
adult, I watched it, I was just like, like I was like, I get that like creeped out feeling. I was like, I'm gonna.
I
have
hated
nightmares
this movie
tonight.
as a kid.
Everybody.
Like, I
did.
love The Labyrinth, but this
Yeah.
movie, I was like, it's fucking evil. I don't like it. I don't want to watch it. I don't even know that I really watched it all the way through because I just get. And once they get to Agra, I think I was like out as a kid. Like, I'm good. She's got her eyeball out. Like, I don't know about this anymore. But
Yeah.
and the Skeksis too. But it's so cool too. I mean, like Jim Henson, like the creature shop, like you know a Henson when you look at it. Even now to this
Totally.
day, when they make them, like there's no denying like their style. Nobody has ever been able to do anything that looks like that. But what I loved about these creatures, and especially the development of the Skeksis, is like they're this like kind
Sexy
of
Skeksis.
vulture crocodile like hybrid thing. And like in the beginning when they're doing that trial by stone and Chamberlain loses and they strip him down.
Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting because they don't actually have a lot of feathers. There was like a couple, but just like they take some off of him, but really there's just this kind of like almost like what baby birds like molting
Yeah, like
have.
plumage.
Yeah, and like and if you look closely, that's the only scene where you can see they have four arms just like the Mystics.
Yeah.
But like they're just these like shrivelly small fucking piece of shit creatures and everything about them is this like large like these large outfits they wear and like layers of like cloaks and fucking jewels and like shit they have all of them. Like it's such a good representation of like hierarchy and just like fucking douchebags.
Oh,
Like
totally.
Skeksis aren't really scary when you get older. They're just fucking shitbags. We
Mhm.
know Skeksis and we fucking Skeksis have ruled over, people forever. Like they're dicks.
Yeah.
Essence.
Well, I love
But
that design of the Skeksis.
yeah.
The Gelflings always creep me out.
Ugh. They're
It's
the
it's the
worst.
smooth skin. It's got like
Yeah.
doll skin.
Well, and it's like their horse
Their face
face.
doesn't move.
Right.
Yeah.
They're very robotic, whereas I mean everything's robotic. They're fucking puppets, but
Yeah.
it's
But the Skeksis have life to them.
right,
Like, and
right.
Agra
This
has
character.
like life to her.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
even the
she does, for
Mystics, like
sure.
they have life. The little guys, whatever they're called, podlings,
Right.
they are super expressive. When that one's getting the shit sucked out of him by the crystal, he looks like he's I mean, it's just the funniest shit.
I
But yeah,
didn't
the Gelflings are just one fucking face.
I didn't look into this to figure out how they did it, which I probably should have, but I didn't. Okay, towards the end when they're running away and the little dog is running and jumps up on the rock and then jumps
Ismay?
off. Yeah, yeah. Like I'm sure it's probably strings and stuff like that, but what if they were hiding the rods or however they did it, they hit him real well
Mm-hmm.
because you don't see him at all when it's jumping
Yeah.
up on the rock and then jumps off and it looks fucking so good. I just had
Dude,
to
the
stop it
practical
and
effects are really good for a fucking
right.
puppet movie.
Yeah,
Dude,
they're extremely good.
it's like they're at like they're just peaking right now, right? Like Jim Henson and Frank Oz at this point are just cruising. Like they just nailed it. It was so good.
Yeah.
And it was interesting for this one. Excuse me, because they went outside. I believe they went outside of their normal designing, and they went with like a different designer to make them
Yeah.
scarier. And the designer gives them kind of this like darker, that's it's a terrible word to use right now with, but I guess like there's like this H.R. Geiger kind of meets Jim Henson kind of vibe going on.
Well,
And they just remind me of those little like tchotchke things you see everywhere in like the 80s and early 90s, that like
The
mushroom
finger
looking thing.
puppets?
Like they're like the nose, like the things with the big noses. They started making a comeback, like the little gnomes. Like these all have like a very like 70s mushroom candle
Oh yeah,
trippy
yeah.
vibe to
right.
them. And that's like the Jim Henson way. But like the lizardy alligator vibe, swamp creatures, like just totally give it like a different
Gave
vibe
it an
outside of his
evil-
other things.
Yeah, gave it like an evil, perverted, twisted version of like the Muppets or the Sesame Street if they got
Oh,
all,
totally.
gacked out on meth and started doing
But
whatever.
it still felt like a Henson. Like there was a part
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
in the
Yeah.
beginning after like the guy who ended up becoming the emperor or whatever, where he looks to the side and he looked just like Sir Didymus in the Labyrinth. I mean, obviously he's not a fox, but like the facial expressions and like the profile, it was so weird when I saw it. I was like, holy shit, that's exactly like it had to have been some of the same people.
Okay, Brian Fraud. He is
Yep.
he is an English fantasy illustrator, conceptual designer, and he made a fairies book in 1978 that was super popular, and Jim Henson loved it.
Yeah.
And so he asked him to do the Dark Crystal, and then he did Labyrinth, and then he came back for the prequel for Dark Crystal, which is pretty cool.
Did you guys, so the story with him too. So Henson gave him a couple notes. He's for the Skeksis. He said he wanted a crocodile type creature, and the Skeksi is what he came up with. But the most interesting thing is Jim Henson pitched him this idea. He drew all this shit. He came back and he's showing Henson like all these drawings, and he's showing him the crystals that he drew. And Henson's like, "Why are there crystals?
Mhm.
I'm really confused. What does the crystal do? This isn't part of the story." And the guy's like, "What do you mean? It's the dark crystal." And he's like, "No, it's the dark chrysalis. There's no crystal." But Henson liked the crystal he drew so much, they rewrote the story to incorporate this.
That's pretty awesome.
This crystal that binds them. Yeah, it's really interesting when you kind of, for a movie that I didn't like that much when I was younger, it's really interesting when you read how this was made and how it was adapted, like how they had to change the languages, that they did all that stuff back to English. The
So
crystal
much
wasn't
work.
supposed to be there, like, and it's such a good product. Still, like, I think there's so many times in this movie when you read about the production and stuff where it could have fallen apart, but it just goes to show that if you get like a good group of people that can work together well, they can like together come up with this great vision and execute it no matter what gets thrown at them. And they really wanted to kind of do like a Grimm's fairy tale and go super dark and scary. I do think some of the stuff they might have cut out might have been the scarier stuff, because they like mention in some of the like behind the scenes and making of stuff that in that test screening, the parents were just like, "I don't think kids should watch this."
Yeah. It growing up, it didn't scare me, because I was always just amazed by the puppets, because I'm not sure if this is one of the first. It's got to be at least one of the first movies that's like all puppetry.
I think they touted it as the first movie without a human in it, like a human character in it.
Right. And I was just always amazed about it, because I never really followed the story.
Well,
because I was just like looking
one of
at
the downfalls of the. I think that's kind of a downfall of the movie, is that the story is kind of simply like a simpler Tolkien kind of vibe, but like
the story is good.
It's just that the spectacle is like what's mad. Yeah, the story makes sense, but it's just like a little much.
Well, yeah,
because of the time that's cut out, the story probably gets a little bit lost. Because I was reading something about like the test screening audience is saying it was just too boring also and long. So they probably cut things out to speed it up. So
I could see that. And like as a kid too, I picked up on the mystics dying when a Skeksi died, but I didn't pick up on that it would be like a certain mystic dying if a Skeksi died, or like even the hand cutting thing. Like I
didn't get it, yeah.
But I was so young that like that kind of symbolism didn't hit with me. So I think that cutting the time out, they probably lost some of the storytelling and like explanations on why things were, and like kind of the backstory and the history of it, which is why I like the prequel, because it's got all the time in the world to like create this amazing univerce.
Dude,
I mean, that's one of the reasons I kind of wanted to do this movie now, is because I'm almost done with the prequel. I've got like one episode left, and I was really pleased with it.
Oh, nice.
I haven't watched the last one.
Okay. Yeah, we watched it when it came out in 2018, and Maggie, my wife, had never seen the Dark Crystal, because she's so afraid of Labyrinth that she never watched Dark Crystal because it was just too scary. I was like, "Oh, we gotta watch it. Like it looks way more bright and whimsical," and it is. And she hated the way the Skeksis talk and essence and all that stuff. But she really enjoyed the fantasy of it all. Like she was like, "Oh, this is
yeah." I mean, that's
my God, the scene where the Skeksis are eating. When she said Skeksis talking, that part, dude, I'm like, come on, take the spaghetti out of your teeth.
It's like the technical feat that is the 1982 one. The TV show does it like 2 times, like 10. I wouldn't say hundreds, but they go so far and beyond that, like still with puppets, that I'm just like, what? But let's stick to 82. So the movie only made 40 million, and it cost 25 million to make, which is still making some money, but kind of sucks. Like,
I mean, I could see that though, because if I was like 13, 14, 15, 20 in 1982, I'd be like, especially
if it's too scary, parents aren't going to take their kids. So.
Right.
But in the entire year in the US, it was 16th highest grossing in 83.
That's
So,
not
I
good
mean,
at all.
16 out of an entire year?
But Jim Henson.
Of course. Yeah, but Jim Henson had only done Sesame Street at that point, I think.
Had he
And
not?
so
Yeah, I'm
it's
not sure.
some,
Yeah.
some Star
Oh, he
Wars
did the
stuff.
Muppets.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
Muppets
yeah.
and all that stuff. But
But
Yeah,
he
this
hadn't
is
done
like his
anything.
first.
Was
He
his
hadn't done
first
anything
thing.
dark or
Yeah, yeah.
epic, like this is.
This
He'd
is
always gone like very kid.
right,
Sure,
and he
yeah.
directed it, and
Yeah, he
with
said that
Frank
he
Oz
wanted
and
to do
everything, yeah.
something. He said it was important for kids to like, deal with being scared. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so it was up against on its opening weekend. It was up against Tootsie,
Oh, Dustin Hoffman,
and The Toy.
huh?
Oh God,
Yeah.
the toy.
I mean,
Okay,
That hasn't aged well.
no,
okay, so you guys are right. He did the Muppet movie in '79, the Muppet
Yeah.
Caper in '81, and then Dark Crystal, and then
Mhm.
the Muppets Take Manhattan, Into the Night, and then we have Sesame Street, and then we have Labyrinth, and then Nothing Till the Witches. So like, yeah, and that's it. He doesn't really do anything else movie wise until Muppet
Right.
Vision through 1991. So yeah, like this is his biggest effort, I would say.
Oh, by
Uh,
far.
I'm sure the Muppets,
Yeah.
obviously are a different level because you're like dealing with humans and like live sets that are
Sure.
like, cars and all that sort of shit. Different kind of focus. But as a purely puppet thing, like you are from the moment the narrator is like, there's a dark, and you're like, all right, I'm locked in. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you're like instantly like in fantasy
Oh.
land. Like,
And the soundtrack too is that like 80s metal fantasy movie. Right when it starts, it's like
Absolutely.
Dude,
like the synth one note.
Yeah.
the font. And like I was comparing it while we were talking about this movie today, earlier today. I was looking at against the other big fantasy movies of like the mid and early 80s of like just a big three
Legend,
of like
Kroll.
Legend.
yes, I did. I looked at Labyrinth and Neverending Story specifically. And out of the three, it's right up there, but from just fans like scores, it's ranked the lowest. And I think it's because it's the scariest.
I mean, I don't know. For
And there's no
me,
star power. You don't have David Bowie.
right.
And
Well, I was
Neverending
gonna say it's the
Story
weirdest too.
it is. And
Yeah.
and it's also the earliest. So it's 82.
Right.
And then we get Neverending Story and then Labyrinth. And
Neverending Story has like a babe in it. Everyone loved Atreyu. So like
And-
you got the
but
girls liking it.
Neverending
Yeah.
Story is still kind of scary at times, like with the
It
gets
Gamorrean
dark.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And Artex dying, spoiler alert,
Oh, it was, yeah.
the biggest trauma of the 80s.
That was the
But-
first movie that sent me through every emotion ever in one movie. And I was
Yeah.
like, I hate all these feelings. Why?
What's happening to me?
Right,
Why?
but as like the entry to the 80s of like in the 80s like dark fantasy, like this movie fucking nails it. Like
I
it
don't think
kinda
it's a
nails
kids
it.
movie though. I don't.
No.
I stand by this right now. It never was, and it is not a kids movie. And I don't think you will appreciate this until you're an adult.
No, it's too scary. It's way too scary.
And it's too boring for kids.
It's
like
too- yeah.
I did not get what was going on as a kid, and I was a pretty smart kid, and I didn't.
No, because
I
as
was
a
just
kid
like,
you're so
this is really long
hyper
and
focused on
boring.
the terror. You're just terror.
Yeah. Well,
Well, no, I mean the part where the Gelflings are like hanging out in the grass. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I
Right.
don't care about two weirdo things that want to date now or whatever.
I
It was weird.
I feel like when I saw this, because I didn't see it, I was 3 when it came out. I didn't see it right when it came out. I saw it on TV. But so I think before that I saw definitely the Neverending Story and Legend and Labyrinth, and I think this was the last one of those that I saw. For me, and this is like one of the biggest things I didn't like about it, like the puppets are its most impressive aspect of it, but also its biggest detriment, because all those other fantasy movies I connected with a little bit better because they had people in them or like
Mhm.
kids and you can relate. This, I was sheerly just looking at, wow, this is Jim Henson, fucking Big Bird, Kermit the Frog, the Muppets, Sesame Street.
Yeah.
This is crazy. And it's just
If the Gelflings were human, it might have hit differently.
right. It definitely would have been more of a Neverending Story vibe. Because
Maybe that's why in the Labyrinth they brought people like they
Right.
were like, we need something with people and
well, like you
Yes,
said, like you
to
said
play
before,
off the puppets too.
yeah, because
Mhm.
the puppets make it drag because they're they're robotic and they're moving, and they're like, and it's not super fluent. Whereas if you have mostly a human cast with some puppets, it moves along, even if it's a longer movie, it still moves along. And that was always been the issue for me with this is like, this is cool, but if it had people in it, it would move along faster and I'd be able to connect better with it. And it would probably be a little more scary. Because to me, this was all Sesame Street. Because like when I saw it, I was a little older. I was like 5, 6, 7, or 8. But by then I had already, fucking kid in the 80s. So I'm already seeing R-rated movies and people getting murdered and whatever.
Right.
So it was just, there's a huge disconnect on like believability because they're toys to me. This is just toys.
Yeah.
It was still creepy, but
definitely bored me as a kid. But yeah, it creeped
Right.
me out too. But I think the story was more boring. But I do think that they hit on where it like is more like a grim fairy tale and darker because it is like a really kind of pretty but sad tale,
yeah.
like how these creatures came to be and how like one kills the other and they have this like split relationship. I don't know. Like I think the story and everything is there, but I just don't think their target audience was what they thought it was.
yeah.
But I have to say, like sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and too, once you see the Neverending Story and Legend and Labyrinth, you're like, oh, at least for me, when I saw this, I'm like, oh, this kind of has all the storylines of all of those movies like rolled into one, but this one was first, so I'm sure, and Jim Henson worked on some other stuff in Labyrinth, did Labyrinth and everything too, Jim Henson and Frank Oz, but so for me, it was. If I saw this one first, it might have given me a little different perspective on it. But since I saw the other ones first with people, this was like the most boring one to me and not as scary because I'm like, these are puppets. These are obviously puppets. Like, sure, they're creepy, but like there's no other humans. They're not attacking humans. Whereas in the other movies, these monsters are attacking people that look like me. So it makes it more real.
Right.
So
The human actor playing off the puppet is what brings the magic of the puppets to life. And I think they did a great job bringing these puppets to life, but
absolutely,
you lose something without the human interaction.
Human connection.
Yeah.
And the creatures they became at the end, I hated that you could barely see the one in the front or what it was.
Right.
But I sent you guys a picture of it. There was one in the back left that looks just like a fucking like famous monster type Dracula, like I don't know, vampire type character. Like it's fucking weird.
Yeah, what were those things called again in the movie?
I forget. Whenever they become
Skeksis.
Oh yeah.
But that one in the back, I just couldn't stop looking at him with the elongated fingers, and he held him across his chest like a vampire in a coffin the whole time. And like,
I mean, they're almost
he had a skeleton face,
more creepy looking than the Skeksis as they are in the movie. Because
it looked like he had like jagged, sharp teeth in his mouth.
Right.
Like, and I never remember noticing that as a kid.
Right. Yeah.
But that's all I could look at today when I watched it. I was like, this looks like a Nosferatu type character that is like sitting there with some crazy like electricity or crazy hair on top of his head.
It's giving off Marv being electrocuted in Home Alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but it was so weird. But then if you look up the actual like things they are, like there was puppets, and it's weird. It's weird. They just went off the deep end with this one. But one cool thing I found out today when I was reading about it was there was supposed to be an entire scene, and maybe it was the one that got cut out, or maybe they never filmed it, where the two Gelflings go down and meet like these cave dwelling miners, and it's Fraggle Rock. They made Fraggle Rock off of that. So like the drawings and everything, it was going to be Fraggle Rock, but somehow that got taken and it became this like awesome musical TV show.
Fraggle Rock rules.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love that.
When I watched it,
that theme song
again now, I totally forgot that the Skeksis got turned back into those fucking glowing people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's exactly what I noticed. The one in the front, I'm like, well, what is that? Like, why? What's his face look like? I couldn't tell at all. I even paused it and like really tried to look, but you still couldn't really make out any sort of.
It looked like when you overlay film, like back in the 80s, where you would. It looked like that, like you couldn't focus on anything because it was just like layers of lines.
Yeah. Yeah, which is kind of a bummer because it's like, oh, if you could have just turned that down a little bit and brought out some more detail, that would have made things better. But they just, to me, ended up being like a Cocoon when they turn into the glowing thing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, all right.
That movie has been referenced way too much lately for
Not
me.
as not as
Like
not
way
as
too
much
much.
as not as much as Snow White.
Yeah,
That's true.
but
That
yeah,
is true.
but yeah. Did anyone not like anything else about it or love anything about it?
No, I don't think so. I think that I enjoyed it this time more than any other time of watching it, but I also think it's coming off of watching the prequels, so now I could appreciate this as
Right.
part of that whole universe better. And I think that I caught a lot more things this time than I did before because there are some small kind of nuanced things that go with, the lore that I didn't otherwise know.
Oh yeah, like that one part where the Gelflings were doing it, and they're all like,
When they were
"Oh,
having their Ewok village
you didn't see
party.
that? That's not the
Yeah.
version you watched." Oh yeah,
No, no.
would have made it a little more interesting. But yeah, you definitely. I noticed a ton more watching it now as an adult versus when I was a
Mhm.
kid, because it would all. This was another one that would always be on the Sunday afternoon movie, The Dark Crystal.
WPIX.
Yeah, and I'm just like, all right, great. Like I'd watch a little bit of it, but
I think I
we,
always started it and turned it off. I think I was
yeah,
too scared. I think I was
for
too
me,
scared.
it was
And I just
just
didn't get it.
I wasn't
boring.
scared. I think I just got bored.
It
Yeah,
was just
I'd watch
uneasy.
15, 20 minutes of it, and then I'd be like, that's enough. They're giant puppets. It's cool. I'm gonna go.
The Mystics really bummed me out as a kid too, because I was just like, who are these fucking hippie, weird, slothy dudes? Which now is I'm totally different. I'm just like, they seem cool. I
Yeah,
like the
nice,
Mystics. They're
nice,
chill.
nice
I think I
folks.
remember specifically have a memory of like trying to watch this and my sister being scared and not of the Skeksis, specifically of the Gelflings and being like, turn it off, Mikey, turn it off. And like,
They're definitely the
in my
creepiest
head, like, yeah,
thing in the movie, at
Yeah.
least for me, in my opinion.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, my
we
best
actually,
friend growing up is like terrified of them, and it was very unfortunate because she had really long hair and was very reminiscent of one, and people would say that pretty often that she
oh,
reminded them of a Gelfling, and it would like it's still to this day. I hope she doesn't listen to this, but I'm sure she doesn't listen to this podcast. It would
Yeah,
end
she's
up in
sitting there
in
crying right
tears,
now.
in tears every time. Yeah, it was like
damn.
a real like soft point with her.
Yeah, I definitely have a friend who was like ruined by this movie because, and you guys know this because you're in bands. We played a set once at one of those places that had like giant projector projecting just random shit behind you while you played,
Hmm.
like whatever it was, but clips of movies, clips of things, and they were playing the Dark Crystal like behind the band playing while we were playing. And my buddy was like, I had to leave during your set because like I'm too like fucked up from that movie as a kid. I was like, he's like, you be playing and there'd be like fucking, like one of the fucking little creatures, the Gelfling creatures on your face. I was like, fuck. I'm like, I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's
This
pretty
is,
cool.
yeah. I mean, it was cool. They did it for, they would play random shit all the time, but they were just letting it rock and it was fucking with people.
Interesting.
All the trauma from the Dark Crystal, from the Gelflings.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one is always like, oh, the Skeksis were creepy. It's always the fucking Gelflings, the heroes of the movie. They're like, ugh, those things creep me out. They're no lip, horse faced, half human, hybrid looking elf things.
They're
Like,
definitely
yeah,
less creepy in the prequel.
well, that's good. I'll check it out. I'm sure.
That's true.
Oh, dude, definitely check it out. It's like I watched a making of it, and
Hmm.
it was that alone is fucking just insane. Like when you watch the show, like your technical brain, you have to try to turn it off because it's too hard to think about because you're like, wow, this is fucking crazy how they're doing this.
Oh yeah, those things are fucking way creepier than the Skeksis. I'm looking at the other picture Ubiet sent of
Oh,
the
oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Because these look like corpses,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
is what they look like,
Yeah.
not
They're
glowing.
cool though.
Super cool. Like kind of wish that's what they would have looked, just with a little bit of glow. Maybe did like a Star Wars Obi-Wan, at the Return of the Jedi thing. Just,
Hmm.
but well, that's a bummer. Huh. You guys ready to rate this?
Let's do it.
All right.
Yep.
Who wants to go first?
Not it.
I'll go.
All right. Okay.
I give it 2.75
Okay.
candy corns.
All right. I like
Yeah.
that.
2.75.
There we go. For me, I mean, everything about the movie is cool and great, and the amount of work they did, like it's super impressive. But like I said, for me, there's always been a disconnect because it's always just been, it's like watching Sesame Street, but like a darker Sesame Street, which is cool.
You're
But
just so cool.
yeah. But by the time I saw this, I already saw the other, or at least most of the other fantasy ones with people. So
Sure.
I was already into that. So when I saw this, I'm like, wow. When I saw it, I'm like, wow, this is cool. And these things look cool, but it was a little boring for me. So for candy corns, I'm giving it 2.25 candy corns. I mean, it's impressive. It's fucking groundbreaking. Everyone should definitely go see it if you haven't. I think it's a great gateway movie into like, especially if you're into the whole fantasy, action fantasy type movies. Oh, this is perfect for a fucking kid. Like now I have no problem with people being like, I'm going to show this to my kid. I'd be like, hell yeah, you
Dude,
should.
seeing this on a big screen in the 80s when this came out probably fucked people up. This is
Oh,
That
totally.
that too. And yeah. And
Totally.
since I saw it on TV,
Yeah.
there's it's not the same to me. Like I
We all,
said,
yeah, we all saw it like that, right? Like,
yeah,
so
it
like
was
if I saw it
definitely
in the
more
theater,
like,
this would
oh,
have
this
fucked
is
me up.
a creepier version of Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Cool. But and you know, you think of Jim Henson and you're like, it's already in your head. Oh, Kermit the Frog, fucking,
Oh yeah. I have an
you know.
Italian New York mother. If we saw this in the theater as kids, she would have dragged us right out. It's satanic. We're not going to this.
Yeah.
Get in the fucking car. This is satanic.
Get in the car, Mikey.
Mikey, get in the fucking car. This is satanic. Get in the car. Now watch my cigarette ash. Get in the car.
You know, yeah.
Oh,
Kids
yeah,
who didn't grow up with
smoking.
their at least
Beauties.
one of their parents smoking like a chimney, you just haven't lived. You just haven't
Yeah.
lived.
My mom always smoked inside the house.
Oh my
Always.
God.
We had
Never-
ashtrays in every room.
Yeah, we
Oh,
had
yeah.
ashtrays too. No ashing. If the ash would hang on for dear life till it
Yeah.
was time to
I always would think now, I'm like, and especially like when I got older and would go to the bar and then come home and then you smell your clothes the next day, you're like, Jesus
Mhm.
Christ, this is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
I also think, what the fuck did I
That's what
smell
you
like
smelled like as a kid.
as a kid? But then again, everybody's parents fucking smoked, so no one noticed.
Right.
But still,
No,
you
we all
probably
smelled like trash.
Dude, I saw it the other yesterday. Yesterday we
Uh.
were walking through the city where we went to the fucking children's museum. And there was like a mom with their like maybe 3-year-old, like in a stroller. She was standing outside the museum with the kid in the stroller smoking a cigarette,
Dude,
like
that's
right next to the
crazy.
kid's head to sleep. I was just like,
people
what
that smoke
fucking-
now, it's
what fucking
it's
world are we in?
crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just for
Anyway.
the sheer like pain in the ass it is to smoke anywhere.
And money.
Yeah,
Not
and
only
money.
that, but like you have to actively try to get addicted to cigarettes because
Right.
they taste like shit before
Oh,
you're
they do.
addicted.
Absolutely.
They
So,
do
like-
taste like shit.
Like I smoked for fucking years, but like that was back in the day where like smoking was cool. Like people smoked, everyone smoked.
Right.
It was a thing. So you're like, oh
You
yeah,
were
you're in high school.
bad.
You guys start smoking cigarettes.
I'm the bad kid.
Like now it's not looked at as cool anymore, and it doesn't have this whole like thing. And people know they know it fucking kills you. You can't do it anywhere. You
Right.
can't fucking litter. Like that shit. You don't. That
Right.
littering's bad. Always was bad, but
Yeah.
felt less bad back then. So like, yeah, you have to actively make yourself get addicted. So like,
Yeah,
just don't. If you're listening to
bonkers.
this and you've never smoked, just
Don't
don't
smoke.
try. Don't try
No,
one. You're
don't
not
do it.
missing anything except for
do it.
smelling bad, getting sick all the time. Your voice doesn't
Constant-
sound cool.
Yeah,
That's the best
constant
thing.
phlegm coughs.
Happiest thing I ever quit. I'll smoke one once in a while now, but I can
Yeah.
do that. But like I couldn't tell you the last time I did it. January I had
Yeah.
one, and before that it was 6 months.
Yeah.
Before that, I couldn't even tell you. It's like some of
Yeah.
those things I'm so glad I do not do
Yeah,
anymore.
I've never started, so I dodged
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
dude, it's the worst thing. Anybody who ever start, so stupid, so dumb.
Yeah. Anyway, back to candy
Anyway,
corns.
and back to
Yeah.
Oops, what do
that
you
was
got?
that was our PSA.
So I'm gonna give it, I'm gonna give it a 3,
Okay.
but I'm gonna give it a 3 with an asterisk that I do feel like me watching the prequel and like knowing more about the whole story and the lore being expanded is probably pushing it up to that, and it might be a 2.5 otherwise. But I want to stand by it because of the amount that maybe this movie didn't hit the way it should have. But I do think you're right. If a person would have been in it, it would have been more relatable because obviously it's harder to get like obsessed with puppets. But there are fucking cartoons, man, that tug on your heartstrings. And I feel like this one does in a way. But I think the story they came up with, the creatures they designed, and just the execution of those creatures, to me, is worth that 3, because there's no other movie like this. And I think that this movie kind of walked so the ones after it could run. And I don't think
100%.
so many of the movies I love would have ever been made had this one not been made.
Yeah.
We would have never ever gotten 1990s Ninja Turtles. Like, at its effort. Like, think about they were like, they probably like, oh yeah, we know what it was like to put 4 people inside Skeksis suits. We can figure this out, like.
Yeah. I mean, exactly what you said. That's why it was so tough for me.
Right.
Like, as if you're into this type of stuff, like granted, fantasy movies aren't necessarily my favorite genre of film. And they never have been, really, unless they were like the darker ones, like Legend. Like, I always thought Legend was fucking cool, but mostly because Tim Curry was fucking crazy looking. He's like, holy shit. And there's like more action and it's a little more real.
When I think of the devil, like half the time, I still think like it's Tim Curry's devil in my head.
The best devil that's ever been.
Those fucking horns and like that. Yeah. Just everything about it. Like that shit's
absolutely
scary and cool as shit.
Yep. So yeah, I get it. It was tough. I'm like, for me also, if this would have been like like The Hobbit or like a rotoscoped fucking, Last Unicorn type animation, fully animated movie, like cartoon, I would have liked it more, just because then it's a cartoon and it's a little different. You can still relate a little bit, but
for me, the Skeksis alone, just like
they are badass.
Like,
oh yeah,
they fucking crazy.
Like, this movie gets a 5 candy corns just for the amount of effort for me. That's, but like, I had to bring it down because of the stories and everything like that, and like just how it plays. But thinking about it after hearing Oops give her rating, I realized something when we keep mentioning like, oh, if they had a human to play off of, but it does happen when you add a human to this thing, it automatically dates it a little bit, right? So in your mind, you're like, oh, let's just use Val Kilmer,
right.
But like, let's say Val Kilmer was in this movie, and there's Val Kilmer, like at the actor
when he was 19,
movie, or anybody, pick any actor. If it's a no-name actor, any actor, like, oh, there's that guy, like, and it's clearly 1982. When you put on Dark Crystal, you don't know what year it is. You're automatically in whatever year that movie's in. So as soon as you put
for sure
a human actor in it,
there are signs.
Sure. But visually speaking, it is very much like you don't know you're automatically in another time or world.
Right. And there's
once there's no human there.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things to love about it and to appreciate about it. But yeah, it's tough. That's one of the other issues about these movies you see when you're a kid. And you either like it or hate it. And then you see it later on in life when you're growing up, you kind of have to like reevaluate your whole opinion on it. And sometimes that first impression just sticks with you, which is like that, like for me, that's what it is. I'm like, it's a little too boring for me.
Sure.
It's impressive, but that's all I ever focused on was how fucking crazy cool all the puppets were, as opposed to like the story. And now it's just like I missed the boat on how awesome it is. Like, I can objectively say it's amazing, but for me personally, I'm like, this isn't a movie I'm going to put on ever.
This one, like, is funny because it doesn't necessarily have nostalgia for me, because like I said, I don't think I really liked it that much as a kid, but I was obviously completely Labyrinth obsessed by my name, and then through that just got so into Henson and like the people he worked with and the design work of the characters and the stories of the characters, and love of the fucking Muppets and like everything else. So because it's part of that world, I think that I appreciated more. And I always loved the Skeksis and the way they looked. Even like if
They're
I
the
wasn't
best part.
someone, who was into that movie when I was younger, like it's just such nothing else looks like a Skeksi.
Right.
Nothing. Like when you see it, even though so many of them look different, and that's also why I love Henson in some of these movies. It's the same with like the Fireys from the Labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
You see a Fiery, it's a fucking Fiery. You see a Skeksi, it's a Skeksi. But if you look at all their faces, they go from being like very angular, skinny, like hook nose to like giant nose, chubby, like different shaped faces. Like they're so good with their characters of like finding these things to identify them and know what they are, yet they can make them look just like so different you don't even notice until you like really dig into each one.
Right. They all
one of
look
the
different.
things-
And
yeah.
no matter which one you see, you know exactly what movie that is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I totally get that.
Exciting.
But
I'm just.
I think
I'm
they
sorry.
missed the mark on. Oh, I think they missed the mark a little bit on the Skeksis and not getting into them more, because when you like read about them and like the stories and everything else, they all have different names other than their regular names.
Right.
And they're really kind of cool and weird. But yeah, it's like I can't remember them all because all their names are like Skeks something, but so they have these other names. Like one's like a chef, but he's called like a gourmand. I don't know. They have these weird old archaic names for them.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't know about that because it's not in the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Skek Aiku, the gourmand. Gourmand, the scroll keeper, the chamberlain, the emperor, the scientist, the ritual master, the treasurer, the Gartham master, the satirist. Like they all have different like roles.
Right.
And they're called by their role.
Should I buy the Dark Crystal graphic novels?
Probably.
The ratings,
I mean, it's probably
high.
They'd probably be cool.
There's only two of them, and the illustrator who designed all of the creatures is the illustrator in the graphic novels.
Then I would buy it. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. J.M. Lee. Shadow. Oh, this is Shadows of the Dark Crystal. Oh, this is Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal series. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, if you're definitely into that, I would do it.
I mean, why not?
Why fucking not? Well, I mean, that averages out to a 2.7 spooky little candy corns, which is pretty good. Yeah, especially for another thing I think this movie suffered from was, like you said before, Juliet, is it wasn't like, maybe it was marketed towards kids, but it wasn't really a kids movie.
Right.
So it kind of fell in between that. Like if you were probably like 11 or like 12 when this movie came out, like right before you were a teenager and just when you were like older, this movie was probably fucking tits. You were probably, this movie's fucking so awesome. But
it was probably trying to serve too many masters, right? Like the movie studio is probably just like, this is too scary for kids and not scary enough for horror people, and something like that.
Yeah.
So if it falls where it falls,
because parents are probably like, "Oh my god, I'm not letting my kid watch a scary movie."
Yeah, it's true.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, what are those things?
Yeah.
So, Gucci T, it's your turn to pick, buddy. What movie are we doing next?
Well, I know I've been teasing somebody with 7 little people.
Oh God!
But I won't do that. I won't do that.
Okay.
But it's been stuck in my head for the last couple of weeks that we were talking about it. I really want to do the remake rumble of House of Wax.
Okay,
let's do it.
Both House of Waxes.
Gucci T loves the remake rumble. we
Well,
went from doing them like once every 6 months. Yeah.
Well, here's another thing about it. Here's another thing.
I mean, I'm totally down.
I know we're busy people, but I feel like there's jack shit in the theaters right now for like horror movies. Like I feel like I'm just waiting for something. I'm waiting for the buzz to get to me to be like, you gotta go see this.
I'm gonna see Sinners this weekend.
Oh yes, I
There's
will
that,
see
yeah.
Sinners.
And
I
I'm
will see
actually
Sinners.
gonna do it because every other movie I said I was gonna see, I haven't because you guys see it first, and I see your faces or your texts, and I'm like, I'm just not gonna do it. Not gonna
Yeah,
do
that's the
it.
problem. Yeah,
Not gonna
that's
do
what
it.
happens, right? I think
Mhm.
Lady in the Yard, right? I
Mhm.
was gonna see it and I didn't. And I heard that the ending, and I'll say it off air because I don't want to spoil it for anybody if we're still rolling. But I heard the ending is bleak as fuck. And I was just like,
Mhm.
Good.
oh, that's good. That's different. But I heard,
Well,
yeah,
maybe I want to see it then.
right. So I don't know. But when I heard that, I was like, they're like, what's that movie that came out a couple years ago where the dog attacks the kid?
Speak
And
no
we,
evil.
yes,
Yeah.
it's like bleak like that.
Or no, no,
No,
no, no. Speak no evil is the fucking
no.
Dutch.
It's
When
it's
evil
the guy who
lurks.
did Terrified.
When evil
Yeah,
Right.
when
lurks.
evil
When
lurks.
evil lurks. Yeah. So like that. Yeah, yeah. It's bleak like that. So I was like, oh, all right. Well, that kind of sells me on it. But every reviewer seemed like really down about it because of
Yeah.
how bleak it was. So like, it's
I
a really
mean,
People
bad mess.
don't people don't like that stuff.
Well, it's like a
I don't
bad
mind
mess.
it.
Apparently, it's a bad message to send, especially for a PG-13 movie.
that's
I
the
could see
80s,
that.
man.
It is the 80s.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
It is.
I'm glad that people are
It'll
doing
just
that
add
again.
some character.
Yeah.
That's what I said. That's what I was thinking. I was like, that's pretty dark.
Hey, you got to learn life sometime, you know?
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
mean, everyone's living a
You
fucking
gotta
terrible
learn
80s
life.
movie right now, though. Just the world's bonkers and bananas
Oh, we're
in
living in
general.
Running Man.
Yeah.
There. It's
All
gonna be
right.
there soon.
All right. The remake Rumble of the House of
It's
Wax.
the summer of remake rumbles. Get
Hell
ready.
yeah. Well, it's not that we didn't like him. It's because Mills was our guy and he would always be like offshore doing his job for like 2 months or whatever.
Mhm.
And we would just always wait for
God, he was
him.
working.
Yeah,
Ugh.
how dare he?
Ugh.
But yeah, so we would always just hold off on it. And by the time he would get back, like, because he has like 30 kids, it was hard to
That's
like
true.
schedule a time to do it. Because watching two movies is it's a lot sometimes, you know.
I know.
But
That's why I
But
forced
these
myself to
neither of these are long.
no,
These are short ones.
yeah, yeah,
No.
yeah. I mean,
That's why I go to the movies all the time to you have to set the time aside. So
yeah. Well,
gotta
you
do
only
it.
have two kids. Mills has like 47.
Two kids
Mhm.
is a lot.
His baby,
So-
Thought it was
literally baby's
32.
kids. Who knows? Who knows now?
I'm so
That's true. It's
tired.
been a while.
I'm so
You might have a
tired.
few more.
So many
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah. So, all
Well,
right. Yeah.
Oops, enjoy that finale of the Dark Crystal, the Rise of the Resistance, or whatever it's called. Age of
I
Resistance.
will. I've been really liking it.
Is it
Surprisingly,
not Rise of Resistance?
it's Dawn of the
Oh, okay.
Resistance.
Dawn of something.
What the fuck
It's
is
not
that?
Rise of the Resistance. That's the name of a fucking ride at Disney World.
I know. I know. Yeah, there's shit out right now. Oh, the Legend of Ochi is coming.
Dude, I'm still waiting for fucking Ash to get on streaming, which isn't
Oh.
going to happen. Or
I
even
heard
any
not-
of like
I
the
heard not
sites.
good. Heard
I
not
go
Age
good.
of
to.
Resistance.
Age of Resistance. I was close. I think I said Age. It was one of the things I said.
You said Ash isn't good. I thought we already saw Ash.
I heard Ash wasn't good.
No, that's
Oh, the movie
Yeah,
Ash.
yeah.
Let's see. We got Sinners. We got
Wait, we did. We heard that sucked, didn't we?
yeah. It did suck. Yep.
I still want to see it because it just wasn't in any theaters, really.
Oh, the
dude, you
sci-fi
know it's
one.
coming.
Yeah.
You know it's
Yeah.
coming out soon. There's a couple of things.
No.
Fucking The Surfer with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Well, isn't the Toxic Avenger coming out soon?
August.
Okay. Well, yeah.
August?
Not too
Uh,
soon.
They're
This fucking
they're
movie.
they're putting
It's gonna come out
Megan.
in 3
They're
years.
putting
Yeah.
they're putting Megan back in the theater halfway to Halloween. Megan. Oh, weird. Annabelle and Ma. Who wants to see
Ma.
fucking Ma?
I didn't want to see it the
Yeah,
first
that
time.
was a one and done.
No. Yeah. Nope. I'm good. Okay. Yeah. There's a
There's
couple
stuff.
things.
There has been a horror movie in the theaters since the 1st of January at all times at my theater
Yeah.
that doesn't show very
Yeah,
many
but
movies.
none of
And
them.
a lot of
none of them
times,
have been
too.
really groundbreaking though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see any of them.
Jenny Penn. Did you guys see Jenny? Did you guys see Jenny Penn?
Other than Opus.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw
You
Jenny
did.
Penn. Yeah. We
He was
talked about it
texting
last
us
time.
about it.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I mean, Oobs won't like it. You might like it. It's
Oh, The Monkey.
I saw that too. And
It's a dark comedy. I
Yeah.
would not call it a horror movie.
yeah.
I was gonna see it until I heard you guys talk about it, and now I'm not. So
Yeah,
I mean, if it comes
Just
on,
like Beetlejuice, and
Yeah.
The
so far,
Substance
my
and-
2025 list ain't looking great.
yeah, if it gets on streaming or if it's on streaming, I'd check it out if you're bored.
I got like
But-
no top anything of 2025 yet. Nothing good.
Yeah, not
Companion.
really.
Just companion.
to think about that.
Yeah.
I think
Companion
bring
was
her
good.
bring her back. I'll do it. It'll be the one.
Maybe. Don't jinx it. You say that out loud, you know what will happen.
Bring her back. Bring her back. Bring her back.
No, it
It's
means it's gonna
showtime.
suck. It's gonna suck. All right.
Well, Abraham could be good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We don't want to jinx that either, and then we'll have to be like, "Hey, thanks for coming on to the podcast. You were great." Oh man, that movie sucked. Like we don't want, we'll be nice. We'll be nicer than that, but we just don't want that to happen.
We're nice people.
We're nice people. All right. Anything else?
Some candy.
Skeksis. Chamberlain. It's me, the Chamberlain.
All right, you
hello,
sexy
Mr.
little
Fancy.
Skeksis. We'll see you next time for a remake rumble.
Like scary
Die, Paris, die.
Want some candy?
Awesome.
groovy.
You ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight? We don't have to be mean.
Yeah, Jack Burton just looks that big old storm right square in the eye and he says, "Get away from her, you bitch!"
You're gonna need a bigger boat. Your move, creep.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.